Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jenny. If this is your first time in my channel, thank you for stopping by, and also thank you to my host subscribers. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and turn on the notification bell so that you'll be the first to know when I post a new video. In today's video, I'll be showing you guys on how to draft a princess Anne neckline for a off shoulder bustier. So let's get started. So guys, I have my drafting materials with me. As you can see what I have here. So I also have these African prints. I have 6 yards of this Ankara material. So let's get into it. So first of all, I started by ruling out my starting point. So go ahead and rule out your starting point like so. So on this starting point is going to serve as our shoulder. So I divided my shoulder measurement into 2, then I added ½ inch sewing allowance to it. So on that shoulder, I came down by ½ inch. You can come down by 1. So it's going to serve as my slope. So at that slope, I also came down by my armhole length. I got it by dividing my bust measurement by 6. Then I added 1.5 to it. Go ahead and connect the points together like so. So this is going to be our chest line. So what I have on the shoulder, I put it on my chest line so that I'll be able to have a straight line like so. So this is going to be our armhole length. So I went ahead and used my marker to make the lines visible. So I used 3 inches for my neck width. So I also divided my armhole by 2. Then I came in by ½ inch, just like this. So go ahead and do so. So on the chest line, divide your bust measurement by 4. Then put it there. Now curve out your armhole just like this. You can actually use your free hand if you choose to, or you can use your pattern master. So I'm also highlighting it. So I also went ahead to rule out my shoulder slope. So from the shoulder, I came down by 10 inches, which is my bust point. Then 13.5, my under bust. Then 16.5 is my half length, but I added 1.5 inches sewing allowance to it. That is 18. So I'm trying to make a point at the side. So go ahead and connect all the points together to form a line like this. So from the shoulder, I came down by 7 inches. So this is going to be our new neck depth for our sweetheart neck. So you can also go as low as 8 inches, 10 inches. So depending on how much flesh you are willing to show. So for my bust span, I divided it by 2 inches. Then I added ½ inch sewing allowance to it. So I went ahead, I placed it on the lines like this. So I'm going to connect all these points together. So go ahead and do yours like so. So at the under bust, we need to tighten it. So for the bust point, you can see it on the screen. So just go ahead and use all these details. I've used them and it's really worked for me. So my bust is 36. So I'll be using 2.5. So at the center front, I'm going to place 1 inch right there. Then at the side front, I'm going to place 1.5. So what I have at that side front is 1. So I'm going to minus ½ inch from it and place it right on the waistline like so. So I did the same thing at the side front. I minus ½ inch. I place it right also on the waistline. So at the bust point, come down by ½ inch and also go up by ½ inch. This is to prevent our bust from being too pointed. So that is why we are coming down by half an inch, or you can also come down by 1 inch. So I'm just trying to connect my points together like so. So at this center part, please don't make your curve so curvy. Don't go so deeply. Just a slight curve is okay. So just rule your line down, connect it from the under bust to the waist like so. So I went ahead and used my marker to make the lines more visible. So at the middle of my armhole, I'm just going to rule that line out like this. That is going to be our new shoulder. So I'm trying to extend my bust span up to that line, as you can see. So now we are going to be tightening this, our new shoulder, so that by the time you wear it, it will not be so free. So you can use 1 inch or you can use 0.75. So I'm going to be tightening it by 1.5, so that is 0.75. So I'm going to connect it down to my bust point. That half inch I came up on my bust point. Now on this our new shoulder, whatsoever you use in tightening it, you divide it by 2, then extend it at your armhole. So I used 1.5. So when I divided it, it was 0.75. So I'm just going to outline this, my shoulder, like so. So I'm using that 0.75, extending it out from my armhole, just like this, so that there will not be any shortage by the time I finish sewing the clothes. So I'm trying to take out my body measurement. Go ahead and input your bust divided by 4, then add your sewing inch allowance to it. Then connect it now to the new shoulder line. So this is going to serve as our new armhole. The measurement you have on your chest line, also place it on the bust point. So I'm going to measure out what I have at that center front. I'm going to place it on the other dart leg like so, just like what I'm doing. So I'll continue my measurement, then I added 2 inches sewing allowance to it. So also on the waistline, I did the same thing. What I have there, I place it on this other third dart leg, as you can see. So I continued my measurements and added my sewing allowance to it. So these points, I'm just going to connect them together to the armhole down to the waistline like so. So this is what we have. At that 7 inches, I'm going to connect my sweetheart neck like so. You can see our off shoulder bustier is here. We're going to blend in that dart at the upper bust. So for you to do so, you have to slash open your waist dart like the way I did. Slash it open and blend it out. Or you can also measure out your dart legs. So the differences you have, you place it on the shorter dart leg, just like this. Now go ahead and blend it out. You can see there is no shortage anymore. On the bust point, mark out the difference between your back half length and your front half length. So mine is 1.5 and I also came in by 1 inch like so. So I'm just going to connect these lines together because this is going to serve as my bust darts. So this particular yoke, we are not going to be making use of it anymore, but remember we came down by 4 inches. So I'm just going to cut out my patterns like so. But before you cut out your patterns, please always remember to close down your bust darts. It's very necessary. And I also went ahead to tape it down with my sellotape. And you can see there's a shortage there, right? So I'm going to use my marker to blend it in like so. Then I'll cut it out.
so special. Boy, how it feels when I'm with you.
So guys, this is what we have. This is our off-shoulder bustier. So let's quickly draft out the Princess Anne neckline. So for the yoke, I brought out another paper. So I'm going to place my shoulder measurement divided by 2 right here. And I also came down by half an inch. So from that half an inch, I'm going to come down by 8 inches for my armhole length, like so. Then I marked out these points to form a straight line. So for my neck width, I'm also going to use 3 inches. Then I'll connect it down to form my shoulder slope, like so. So on that armhole, I'm just going to divide my armhole into 2, which is 4 inches. Remember, while drafting the bustier, we came down by 4. So that is what I did. I came down by 4. So this 4, I'm also going to place it at the center, like so, and add that half inch for the slope, making 4.5. So I'm just going to roll out my line like this. Now on my chest line, I'm going to input my bust divided by 4 plus 2 inch sewing allowance, like so. Then I'm going to connect this point to form my armhole curve. So like I said, you can also use your free hand to connect your armhole curve. So after that, this is what I have. So at this new armhole, I'm just going to go in by 2.5. You can also go in by 3 inches, but I prefer going in by 2.5. So that 2.5, I'm going to place it at the middle of my armhole on this my yoke, like so. Then I connected my neck width to that point, like so. So you can see what we have. I'll also use my marker to make it visible. So this is what we have. And also we are going to be joining the shoulder and the bottom part of it. Go ahead and add 1.5 inches to it, or you can add 1 inch to it for sewing allowance. So just go ahead and connect all the lines together downward. So this is what we have. This is the Queen Anne neckline. Go ahead and cut it out.
You got me doing things I never thought I'd do. Just so you.
So guys, this is what we have. So these are the front patterns. As you can see our yoke aligned properly with our bustier, as you can see it right here. So I went ahead to tape it down so that you can see it more clearly. So you can see the shape of the neckline is already out at this side. So I will go ahead and cut out the back pattern. So I've gone ahead to cut out my basic back pattern, as you can see. So this area here is my zip allowance of 2 inches. So for the neck width, it's still the same thing with the front, 3 inches, and I came down by 1 inch for the neck depth, and I connected my armhole, my chest line. So as you can see, the length of this pattern is 15.5. So my normal half length is 16.5. I minus 1.5, which I use for the bust dart. So I got 15.5. So this is what I did. Then from the zip allowance, I came in by half inch and I went in by half an inch. If you still don't understand how I came about this basic back pattern, I have a video where I explained well on how to draft a basic back pattern. You can check it out on my channel, it's right there, on how to draft a princess bustier for a big bust. So just check it out. So these are the patterns we have, the front and the back patterns, as you can see. So I'll go ahead and cut it on my fabric, and also I'll cut out my wadding, my lining, and also I have this little interfacing, which we also known as tissue. So I'm going to use it to strengthen my fabric. So I've gone ahead to cut out my linings. As you can see, for the back I have 2 pieces of lining and also 2 pieces of fabric. So just make sure you make a notch at the zip area like so that you'll be able to identify where the zip will start from. So as you can see on my patterns, I've gone ahead to cut out my pad. If you want to see a full detail how I cut out my pad like this, I also have a video on how to do this. Check it out. It's still on how to cut a princess dart bustier for a plus size. So all these details are well loaded in that video, so just check it out. And I went ahead to add 1/2 inch sewing allowance to my side front of the yoke, as you can see. So thank you for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.
Been in the pool, talk to you, dripping wet. Nervous when I speak, so I trip on my